Prepping. The word often conjures images of fringe groups, underground bunkers, and a world on the brink. But this portrayal is a caricature. It misses the heart of what prepping truly represents, a fundamental human instinct for preparedness and resilience. This essay explores the multifaceted world of prepping, moving beyond stereotypes to understand its deeper motivations and merits. Prepping at its core is about taking responsibility for oneself and one's community. It's about acknowledging uncertainty and actively building resilience against potential challenges. We'll delve into the psychology behind prepping, exploring why the need for control and security drives people to prepare. We'll examine the historical roots of prepping, tracing its evolution from ancient practices to the digital age. Ultimately, this essay argues that prepping, stripped of its sensationalized image, is a practical and responsible approach to an increasingly unpredictable world. It's about facing the unknown with a plan, not with fear. Preppers are generally focused on self-reliance, disaster preparedness, and ensuring they are ready for various catastrophic scenarios. The war in Ukraine has amplified many of their concerns, especially regarding the potential for global instability, economic disruption, and the threat of escalation into a broader conflict. Here are some common reactions and thoughts from preppers on the war in Ukraine. In summary, while preppers have been preparing for global disruptions for a long time, the war in Ukraine has intensified their concerns about political instability, economic collapse, and the threat of military escalation. It has reinforced their belief in the need to be self-sufficient and prepared for a variety of potential crises. The desire for security is deeply ingrained in the human psyche. We crave predictability and control, especially in the face of uncertainty. Prepping, in many ways, is a direct response to this innate need. When the world feels chaotic and unpredictable, taking concrete steps to prepare for potential disruptions can provide a sense of agency. This feeling of control, however small, can be empowering in the face of potential helplessness. However, this desire for preparedness is often met with skepticism. Society often paints preppers as paranoid doomsayers, dismissing their efforts as excessive or irrational. This societal dismissal stems from a misunderstanding of the line between paranoia and preparedness. Paranoia is driven by irrational fear and distrust, often lacking a basis in reality. Preparedness, on the other hand, is grounded in practicality and foresight. It's about acknowledging potential risks and taking reasonable steps to mitigate their impact. The act of preparing for uncertain futures is not new. Throughout history, societies have engaged in various forms of prepping, driven by the need to survive and thrive in the face of challenges. Ancient civilizations stored surplus grain during bountiful harvests, preparing for potential droughts or famines. Medieval communities developed systems of mutual aid and stockpiled resources to withstand sieges or natural disasters. The Cold War era brought about a surge in prepping, with fears of nuclear war pushing individuals to build fallout shelters and stockpile supplies. The Y2K scare, though ultimately unfounded, further highlighted societal anxieties and the desire for preparedness. So what was the Y2K scare? The Y2K scare, also known as the Millennium Bug, was a widespread concern in the late 1990s that computer systems would malfunction when the year changed from 1999 to 2000. Many older computer systems stored dates using only the last 2 digits of the year, for example, 99 for 1999. As a result, there was fear that when the date changed to 00, systems would misinterpret it as 1900, causing errors in software, databases, and critical systems like banking, utilities, and transportation. Experts worried that this could lead to widespread system failures, including power outages, financial disruptions, and problems with infrastructure. A huge effort was made to identify and fix these vulnerabilities before the transition. While there were some minor glitches, the Y2K bug did not cause the catastrophic disruptions many had feared, thanks to the extensive preparation and remediation efforts that took place in the years leading up to 2000. Today, prepping has evolved to encompass a wider range of potential threats, from pandemics and natural disasters to economic collapse and social unrest. The focus has shifted from solely surviving catastrophic events to building resilience and maintaining a semblance of normalcy in the face of disruption. Technology has dramatically reshaped the landscape of prepping. The internet has democratized information, providing access to a wealth of resources on preparedness, survival skills, and risk assessment. Online forums and communities have become vital hubs for preppers to connect, share knowledge, and learn from each other's experiences. This digital connectivity has fostered a sense of community and collaboration, breaking down geographical barriers and fostering a global network of preparedness. Furthermore, technology has led to the development of innovative prepping tools and resources. Water filtration systems, portable solar panels, and long-lasting food rations have become more accessible and efficient. The digital age has also ushered in new forms of prepping, such as cybersecurity, preparedness, and data backup strategies. As our lives become increasingly intertwined with technology, protecting our digital assets has become an essential aspect of overall preparedness. Diverse approaches, types of prepping and preppers. Prepping is not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. It encompasses a spectrum of approaches, each tailored to individual circumstances, values, and perceived risks. Some preppers focus on self-sufficiency, aiming to create sustainable lifestyles that can withstand disruptions to supply chains and infrastructure. This might involve homesteading, learning essential skills like gardening and food preservation, or investing in off-grid living solutions. Others prioritize disaster preparedness, equipping themselves with emergency kits, first aid training, and evacuation plans to navigate natural disasters or other sudden emergencies. Urban preppers adapt prepping principles to city living, focusing on strategies for navigating urban disruptions, securing food and water, and building community resilience within densely populated environments. It's important to recognize the diversity within the prepping community. Preppers come from all walks of life with varying backgrounds, beliefs, and motivations. This diversity enriches the community, fostering a broader understanding of preparedness and resilience. Beyond canned goods, essential elements of prepping. While stocking up on supplies is often associated with prepping, true preparedness encompasses a more holistic approach. Physical preparedness involves securing essential resources like food, water, shelter, and medical supplies. It also includes developing practical skills such as first aid, fire starting, and basic self-defense. Financial preparedness is crucial, involving building an emergency fund, diversifying income streams, and reducing debt to withstand economic shocks. But perhaps the most overlooked aspect of prepping is psychological and emotional preparedness. Disasters and emergencies can take a toll on mental and emotional well-being. Developing coping mechanisms, stress management techniques, and fostering a strong support system are vital for navigating challenging situations with resilience. Prepping is not just about surviving a crisis, it's about thriving afterward. Building a resilient mindset, fostering community connections, and maintaining a sense of hope are essential for long-term well-being. Community over competition. The ethics of preparedness. Prepping often sparks conversations about ethics and responsibility. While individual preparedness is essential, it shouldn't come at the expense of community well-being. The prepping community emphasizes the importance of mutual aid and cooperation. Sharing knowledge, resources, and skills within communities can enhance collective resilience. Ethical preppers recognize that preparedness is not about hoarding resources, but about ensuring everyone has a chance to thrive in the face of adversity. It's about building bridges of support, not bunkers of isolation. Furthermore, responsible prepping involves considering the environmental impact of our choices. Sustainable prepping practices such as water conservation, renewable energy, and responsible waste management are crucial for long-term resilience. Ultimately, ethical prepping recognizes that our individual well-being is intertwined with the well-being of our communities and the planet. Debunking the Doomsday myth. Prepping is practical. The media often portrays preppers as fixated on doomsday scenarios, fueling misconceptions and stereotypes. However, this portrayal couldn't be further from the truth. Prepping is about practicality and awareness, not fear-mongering. It's about acknowledging that life is inherently unpredictable and taking reasonable steps to mitigate potential risks. Just as we prepare for a job interview or a long journey, prepping extends this same principle to a broader range of potential challenges. It's about having a plan in place, not because we expect disaster, but because it's prudent to be prepared for the unexpected. Prepping is not about living in fear, but about embracing agency. It's about taking control of our circumstances, empowering ourselves with knowledge and resources, and facing the future with confidence and resilience. A future of resilience, embracing preparedness. In an era of increasing uncertainty, characterized by climate change, geopolitical instability, and economic volatility, the principles of prepping have never been more relevant. Embracing preparedness is not about succumbing to fear, but about fostering a sense of agency and resilience. It's about recognizing that we can't control every aspect of our lives, but we can control how we prepare for and respond to challenges. Promoting a culture of preparedness requires moving beyond stereotypes and embracing the practical and responsible aspects of prepping. It's about fostering community resilience, sharing knowledge, and equipping ourselves with the tools and mindset to navigate an unpredictable future. Prepping at its core is about hope. It's about believing in our capacity to adapt, overcome, and thrive no matter what challenges life throws our way. My final thoughts on non-preppers. At the end of the day, non-preppers are betting their lives on the idea that nothing bad will ever happen, or if it does, someone else will save them. They believe the systems we rely on today will always work tomorrow. It's not just naive, it's dangerous. When disaster strikes, whether it's a natural disaster, an economic collapse, or something as simple as a supply chain failure, non-preppers become the first wave of panicked victims. They'll be lined up at empty grocery stores, begging for government handouts and wondering why no one warned them. The truth is, they were warned. But they laughed at the crazy preppers. They mocked the stocked pantries, the backup generators, and the emergency plans. They thought preparedness was paranoia. But when the lights go out, when food runs short, and when chaos takes over, it's the crazy preppers who won't be standing in those lines. We'll be home, safe, because we understood that modern life is fragile. So, my final thought on non-preppers: you made your choice. When the time comes, don't knock on my door expecting a handout. Prepping isn't just about gear and supplies, it's a mindset. And if you waited until it was too late to get that mindset, you might not make it. So stay safe, stay prepared, and subscribe, like, and follow.